I do love me some good old Pistanity clips. Wait, what's this? Ah, it's 8 months old. How relevant can that be? You know what? Let's check it out anyway. That's what I want to see. And then add a fucking crystal preset PA. Oh my god. Just for the love of Lord, allow me a crystal preset. You have it on the new gearing. It's there. It's in the game. Implemented. You know what? He makes a great point. And they did. Let's jump into it, boys. It's time for some crystal preset guide. Let's do this. Hi guys, welcome to this guide about PvE crystal presets and the best in slot pretty much all around for this game at the moment. Right, so I've made a couple of presets here, and as always, all the links will be in the description, so you can save these, you can copy them, you can use them for your own setup, your own gearing. And I'll talk a bit about gearing in this video as well, because there's some really cool stuff going on right now in the community, and I thought I'd cover it in this video. Right, so first off, shout out to Garmoth.com, once again coming in clutch, already having a channel preset system here. Use the homepage, gear setups, gear planners, crystal planners. It's amazing, and it all ties in together, and I'll show you some really cool stuff with Garmoth here in this video as well. A big shout out to them, but also the man, the legend, big and shiny. I've mentioned him before. So many things in this game we would have no idea about if it wasn't for that man. Go and follow him. I'm gonna leave a link as well in the description to his Twitch channel, his streams. Give him a follow, give him a sub, show this man some love. Some crazy cool information he's been providing us, which is paramount when making your crystal sets. It wasn't a big deal before because you didn't have the luxury of specializing, but we do have that now, and now this information is giant. It's about soft caps in PvE, and it makes a massive difference. Now let's jump into it and take a look. So the 5 setups that I have right here is, the first one here is like the all-around best in slot. This right here is the highest damage one you're going to be making. You'll see on all of them that they're utilizing more or less the same bottom half, and then the top half, it changes a bit depending on it. But like the bottom half, which is the glorious arcades, the rebellious crystals, the corrupted crystals, and then also the dark fang valor are pretty universally the best ones to use. So you're gonna find this in all of them except one. Regardless, right? If you don't need accuracy or survivability, you just want to stack AP. It's that simple. You just want to get as many AP crystals in there, and that's it. Very straightforward. Now, if you need accuracy, and I do highly recommend you check out my accuracy guides on this. I'm also going to cover it in this video a bit when we go into gearing, but check out my accuracy guides. Link's going to be in the description as well. If you need accuracy for the grind, the only thing you want to put in is Vipers. Pretty much would never recommend using LCAS at this point in PvE. It should be very easy getting the required accuracy elsewhere, so you don't have to use LCAS, but it could be an option. However, for my looking at gearing and caps and everything, you pretty much never need to use LCAS. If you need to use LCAS, you're probably going to be under-geared for the spot anyway, and you're better off just going with only Gen Vipers if you need the accuracy. 1 or 2, depending on how much you need. And again, it's very easy to change. So if you only need 1 Viper, you just use 1, and the other one you put in an AP crystal. A lot of you guys I know are not tuber endgame geared, not T20 armors and everything, because the game doesn't suggest you building that way, right? So gearing in BDO is very damage focused. Damage first, then survivability. So you'll see a lot of people that has the AP to grind places like AARK, Gyphon, etc, 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 but they don't have the survivability. This setup right here is if you are having the AP to grind higher end spots, but you're lacking a bit in the survivability. Maybe you haven't gotten your armors, your Kafirs up yet. This right here is the setup I would be running. I would be getting my 4 Hooms in here. This setup I think most people are going to be using. The other setups where you can completely ignore survivability, that's when you're really super geared. You have all that DP from your armors and cafe levels. I think this one right here is going to be the most used crystal setup for most players. It's like all around really freaking good. It gives you all the stuff you really need. Now, as I alluded to a bit earlier, we're going to talk about Softcaps today. So I have two builds that are the Softcap, post-Softcap builds. Now, let's just first look at the human damage. There's a couple of spots in the game that have human mobs. Now, there are different monster types, right? So you have the generic monsters. Every single NPC in the game counts as being a monster. So monster damage works against all monsters in the game. Now, some of those monsters are also a specific species. That could be human types, like you find it in Bloody Monastery and Abandoned Monastery. Human damage also works against those, so they get affected by both monster damage and human damage. And in that case, you really want to be stacking up on the human damage, especially with how the Softcap works. I'll go more into detail, but to keep it short, specific monster damage types, human damage, demi, and Kama, scales past the Softcap. They basically ignore the Softcap, and you get full value out of that, even if you hit the Softcap of general AP on those monsters. So that's why it's super powerful, right? And you'll see a massive difference in damage dealt in PvE at these specific monster type spots, especially human damage, if you stack it past the Softcap. Now, this is sort of the setup that I'm personally running on my grinder. This is a demi-human damage build. You can also do it with Kama damage, but it's not as relevant. I'll get into why. But this is pretty much the BIS setup for Elvia Trolls and Elvia Orcs. As long as you can hit the Softcaps, stacking the demi-human, stacking stuff like attack speed is way more valuable. Now do note that the human damage on the Olocus, they don't do anything for Orcs and Trolls. However, it is still better value than pure AP if you're reaching the AP Softcaps. So again, there's going to be a link in the description. If you just want to check them out, then here they are. However, this stuff gets juicy. So let's jump into it right now. What is Softcaps? Now, courtesy of Big and Shiny, he has made some amazing testing and a couple of spreadsheets. I'm going to be linking to his channel, his Twitch channel. I do have these posted on my Discord, but I really recommend you guys going into his Twitch channel. He has links to these himself, and while you're there, hit that follow button. Check out his content. He's an awesome dude. I've known him for years. He deserves all the love and support he can get. So I'm not gonna link these in the description. Go into his channel and get them from him yourself. Right. So what is this? There's two spreadsheets. There's one that's a generic AP Softcap with all the different spots in the game that he has tested himself. This is his own testing. This is not something that's data mined. He's done the freaking work for this. And the other one is the Haddam spots. So that's all the Elvia spots. Every single one of them he's done testing on himself as well. Now, the TLDR is that normal regular grind spots, once you hit the Softcap, you're going to get around 70% value out of your AP. So it's still very valuable stacking AP if you're grinding in non-Elvia spots. So that could be Ash Forest, it could be Gaifen, it could be Centaurs, etc, etc. I do, again, recommend finding your grind spot here, looking for the different Softcap values here. There are some differences. Check it out, find your grind spot, and make up your mind with that. Now, for Elvia spots, it's different. Now, Elvia spots, they don't have a 70% Softcap. They have a 5% Softcap. Again, you can check it all out here. The data is here, the testing is here. The TLDR is down here in the conclusion, right? So you have the soft caps for the different grind spots in Elvia, from 750 all the way up to 925 at the troll grind spot. Now, when you hit that AP threshold, every point of AP you have after that only gives you a 5% value. And that means the value you get from other sources becomes crazy important for further increasing your damage dealt and your clear speed. For example, the demi-human crystals only give you 2 demi-human AP because they're blue, they're low grade, not that good, right? However, to get that 2 AP value in regular AP, you're gonna need so much AP to even get the 2 AP demi-human value damage, right? Same with the attack speed. It really becomes valuable once you pass these caps. And you might be asking, well, how do you get these caps? How do you find out if you're reaching these AP soft caps? Well, I got you covered. So I'm also going to be linking this right here, which is a gear planner I made for this specific occasion. And I am basically going to take you through how you find out like the soft caps and also how much gear you need to actually reach them. So these here are going to be focused on 3 of the main head-on spots: orcs, hex, and trolls. For these grind spots here, the general setup we're using is going to be regular buffs. I assume most people are going to be able to run these kind of buffs. It's Villa buff, it is simple cron meal, it is a frenzy draft, and it's church buffs. Nothing else. Now, if you stack more buffs and different buffs, maybe use courage or use house buffs, you drop the required AP by that amount, and then you can actually have way less gear than this. Now, do remember that this gear that I'm showing is to hit the highest cap of the AP. You can obviously go with less AP than this, but you gain a lot of value out of your AP all the way up until the caps. And then after that, you want to change up your gearing, change up your crystals while still maintaining the AP soft cap. So this is like the highest end gear value before you start doing those small tweaks, right? So you only need these buffs here. I assume full journals on. And also currently I'm just using Awakened Witch. Awakened Witch, by the way, does not have any AP buffs in the build. However, they do have a 20 AP passive, which also counts into all of this. Now, furthermore, I assume on all these builds that you're using a 20 monster AP skill add-on. It's a T2 skill add-on. It's something you keep up 100% of the time. If you play a class that has good T3 skill add-ons, that's 30 monster AP, and you can actually drop your AP regs by 10 AP and get that stuff elsewhere, right? So keep that in mind for what we're doing here. Now, with 2 85 AP, 10 black stars, and even going over here and using the accuracy requirement, that means we're not even using, we're basically losing 10 AP because we're using 2 less crystals here. We're getting 824 total AP against monsters. Now throw in the skill add-on, and we are at 844. And then we can go over here and we can check out orcs is 850 AP soft cap. So you could make some adjustments if you wanted to. You could use 1 more crystal if you don't need 2 vipers, etc. But this pretty much will hit that highest soft cap, and after this is only 5% value on any AP you gain. Now, I should probably mention, what is this monster AP? Well, it is your total AP on your main attack. So if your awakening is going to be your awakening AP, if your succession is going to be your main hand AP, plus extra AP against monsters. So if you're using Garmuth.com, you can find all of these numbers out here. I highlighted them for you. So basically the one you're really looking for is under offensive monster AP. This one has these 2 added in. added together. So this is the number you're looking for down here, the monster AP. That's going to be your soft cap reaching, but do not forget self buffs and skill add-ons. So if you have any of those, you can probably drop your AP gear requirement quite a bit. All right. If you go over here, you can see it's like 10 AP difference, right? Now let's take a look at Hicks. And for Hicks, this right here is a gear requirement where you do not need accuracy, right? So you can go in here, and we're using this all around BIS. If this is your gearing, and this might be a surprise to a lot of people, it was actually a surprise to me that you only need 293 AP for a class like Awakening Witch to actually hit the 900 AP soft cap for LVA Hex. I think a lot of people are expecting to need like pin black stars and like 301 AP Kudum to even go there. It's incorrect. And this is also using, for this case here, it's using the Death Blow combo in monster AP artifacts. You can use other combos. This is like one of those that I use because I grind on Wusa right now. And that's a class that requires AP. You can go with like Vicious Shadow or something else, or you can go with like a pure AP setup and get a bit more AP out of it. Now, I should probably mention that for the AARK one, I'm using the demi-human one here. So that's not even having, like this gear here has no bonus AP for it in my artifacts, right? Using human damage for that further scaling past the soft caps. Now, if you are rocking out and you need your Jin Vipers for your Hex grind, you just need 297. Again, you see we have 884 plus 20 from our skill add-on, and now boom, 900 AP soft cap has been reached. Again, if you're using courage or everything, you can go with even less total AP than this. Don't neglect the DP though. That place does hurt. Now, Trolls is the head spot in the game that has the highest AP Rex. It is 925 AP soft cap. What does that translate to into gear? Well, for this case here, we are rocking, again, trying to rock the demi-human damage setup, which means you could get a lot more easy AP if you were using a different Lightstone combo. But this one right here is super good at Trolls. So you kind of want to get up to that AP threshold without the artifacts. Now, this is for the accuracy build. Most people will need accuracy at Trolls. Trolls has a high accuracy requirement, so this right here is probably going to be like where you're going to land for most classes. And you do need to get up to double pin Blackstar now and 301 AP Kudum, but surprisingly enough, you don't need any like pin accessories for this. Sure, you can mix it around. You can check out your own gear and see where you are. Then you can throw in buffs. Personally, I grind with full elixir rotations, including courage, sometimes house buff as well. And suddenly you probably won't need 2-pin black stars to meet Troll's gear rig either, right? So see, we have 904 AP with this setup right here, plus 20 from a skill add-on, and boom, there we are. Now, we have one more for Trolls here, where it's the past the soft cap, right? So you do need quite a bit more gearing here to ignore building AP in your crystals. Like, one of the cool things with these crystals is you can get so much AP. It made reaching these caps so much easier for people. You need way less gear than you used to in the past. But for all of you geared bastards out there that has the AP even without it, this right here is going to be the setup that I'm personally running for guarding Trolls. And you do require a 309 AP with double pin black stars to reach this. However, once again, it's without full buffs, it's without perfumes, etc, etc. So you can drop some of this if you're using full buffs. And you see it's 904 with this setup here, with again a skill add-on, and you are there. Now, I should probably quickly talk about the accuracy stuff. Check out my full guide on it, but I'll do a quick note. How do you find out if you need the accuracy to begin with, right? You go under here, you have your own Garmoth planner, you have your own gear, you set up your crystals. You can copy mine into your own Garmoth, and use it from there. Now let's see with this Hex. You have your setup, you go under, and you say PvE hit calculator. Now we're gonna scroll down and we're gonna find Hex. It's down here, Hex Sanctuary, 66% hit rate with this setup right here. Now you wanna always add a skill add-on 4% and a debuff 4% from, again, your skill add-ons. 4% accuracy buff, 4% evasion shred, and you should keep those up at all times. Now for which I know that the class on Awakening has between 20 and 30% accuracy rate on all the skills. So I'm gonna type 20% in here. And then I also know that the class has a 15% evasion shred in the kit. So I'm gonna change this to 35. And now I can scroll down here and I can see that I'm actually 10% above hit rate at the Hex Sanctuary, meaning I don't even need to be using accuracy crystals. I do not need Gen Vipers for this. So there you go, that's how you check it out real quick. Now I've kept a little something for you guys here at the end. There is a final gear build with the hidden tech. Now because of these soft caps, when you're grinding these in-game spots like Hex Sanctuary, and having shown here how relatively easy it is to hit these AP soft caps, there is even more you can do. This right here is currently the best offhand for damage in PvP, but also grinding in PvE because of these caps. The reason that these offense, the green offense with an ultimate reform on it, is so good is because they give 10% all special attacks. That's 10% critical hit damage and back attacks, potentially down attacks as well. And that is a massive damage increase when you are above soft caps. So for PvE, obviously you lose a lot of monster damage because you don't have the cooldown. But it has a lot of sheet AP, so you do gain some of that back. But if you can hit these AP numbers with the soft caps, this right here is significantly better than using cooldowns. However, you become significantly more squishy. It only has 11 DP. It makes you very squishy if you're grinding places like Hex Sanctuary, which is why for this build here, this example, I'm using Narcs instead of the Distos. You really need to be considering also potentially using Monster DR artifacts here, if you can still hit the caps doing that. But since the crystal preset, which is why I'm including this in the preset video, you now can use 2 crystals or the same amount of crystals if you're using a green offhand, aka a steel dagger or something else, as if you're using a cooldown. I think it's an oversight. I gotta be honest, I hope they fix it. It basically makes these green offhands best in slot at endgame for both PvP damage, but also grinding, which I think is ludicrous. But I want you guys to have the information. I would not advise you to go ham trying to invest into these. You need a very, very high gear to make them work. And it might be changed. Maybe they're going to remove the 10% special attack damage. Maybe they're going to change the crystals. Who knows? There's no info. But, you know, maybe they're not going to do anything. And this will keep being best in slot. I know I'm working on making mine right now, at least. But guys, that's going to be it. I hope you found this useful. I am going to be working on some more crystal guides here coming out very soon. As always, don't forget to tune in on the stream at twitch.tv/bicepsprime. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.